you recently signed a big-ass deal, $22 million at South Carolina. Yes, I'm putting your business out there because I think it's important that people know. But
22.5.
my bag, I underbossed her. See, that's what I needed to stay in my lane, and she corrected me. I receive it, sis. I receive it. But this is a landmark contract. You're the highest paid black female coach ever. What's the significance of that for you?
I'm gonna give y'all the whole story because I don't think I've told the whole story. And the whole story is this: back in 2021, at the Final Four in San Antonio, one of Sedona Prince, who put out a TikTok video that showed the disparities in what the men, they had this big lavish weight room, and then they gave us like a barbell, couple of barbells and a yoga mat. So she put on there the differences. So I was the first coach to write a letter and post it and send it out. And then some of the other coaches came behind that. And then I went home after the tournament. I'm like, I'm out here on a national level asking for just, equality for women's basketball, and I come back to South Carolina, and I'm not even getting that here. So I said, I'm gonna start here. And I was due for renegotiations, and I said, I'm gonna risk it all. I'm gonna ask for equal pay. And it took probably 5 or 6 months for it to happen. Because these things don't just, you don't walk in and, here's what I did. I did a little research, and it wasn't hard. I looked and saw what the men's coach was making, right, at South Carolina. I looked at what I was making, and then I saw that his raises, just his raises, and I compared them to just my raises, and he made more than me in the raises. It wasn't a salary, but he made more in the salary, but it was the raises. Our success was not the same. Our success was sustained over, 9 years. He went to the Final Four once, and I was like, there is something seriously wrong here. Like, seriously wrong here. So I was like, okay, I have an agent, but I asked my agent to stand down. I said, because I don't really think you can do what I'm going to ask for. So I hired a lawyer in South Carolina that really knew. They knew the people on the board. They knew the decision makers. So I hired him to renegotiate my contract, and he was all on board with this is supposed to happen. He was like, you're the best coach in this, you're the best coach in the country, but you're certainly the best coach here at South Carolina. So I believe in this, so let me work on it. So you almost have to find one of them that really understands, the workings of who makes these decisions, and I just thought he did a great job. It was the same attorney who represented me when I sued the athletic director at Missouri who defamed me. So I figured, we're 100% using him. We might as well just
he undefeated.
Continue
so
that path. So it's a process. Like, and a lot of people may call me greedy. It wasn't a greed thing, because a lot of people don't realize I was making a lot of money even before I got this deal, but it was bigger than just me too. It wasn't just me. It was like, you should get just as much as your male counterpart, not because you do the same job. It's because you do the same job better. Like, if you perform better, people will say, well, you're a non-revenue producing sport. No, we're not. No, we're not.
Give them the receipts.
Yeah, no, we're not.
Yeah.
Revenue is, we have the highest attendance in the country that attend our game. We got national attendance records for the past 9 years in a row. So somebody's paying for those tickets. The concession stands open. They charge them, probably not as much as those beers y'all got out there, but but that's revenue producing, and we're winning national championships. So you're getting a marketing campaign free of charge, just off of our sweat equity of winning national championships. So there's revenue coming in. So for anybody out there that come under the umbrella of non-revenue, there is revenue in whatever you do. You may not be in the black, but you're helping towards offsetting some things that you're doing as a program.
Well, it's kind of messed up because people have this mentality that when it comes to women's sports, that you should just be happy to be there, right?
Oh.
Just in general. Because even when you were addressing earlier about the disparity between the men's tournament, the weight the weights and all that, the equipment that they got versus the women, it was so many people, because I reposted a lot of stuff, it was so many people that just kept saying, well, y'all don't make as much as the men. It's like, yeah, but they make enough to get more than one barbell.
Right,
they make that much, okay?
Right.
And it's the same, in your case. It's like, even though your receipts are long and extensive, but it's like, if somebody called you greedy, your answer should be, so the what?
Right.
Right? Like, yes, this is the money that I deserve. Another thing that was interesting about the tournament this year was that there were, I believe, 12 black female coaches that were in the tournament. People may be surprised to know this, but I think in women's college basketball, it's something like 50% of the players are black. Mm-hmm. And yet it's not a lot of black women who are heading programs. But seeing so many that were in the tournament, why do you think that barrier still exists? Why? Because, also, before you answer the question, I think something like 85 to 90% of women's college players graduate. So it's not, so you got a whole crop of black women who have degrees. So it's not that, because sometimes they use that to hold it against coaches. But why do you think this issue still persists today?
Well, one, they don't treat us like a sport. That's one. They don't treat women's basketball like a sport. Two, we've moved the needle as far as decision makers. Like there are a couple of more black ADs, especially in the Power 5 conferences, but there aren't enough. There aren't enough people that are being intentional about hiring black women. It's a cycle. Like, we're back in the good cycle now. Like, more and more black women nowadays are getting more opportunities to be head coaches because it's popular now. And there's this thing called diversity, equity, and inclusion. So if you hire a black women's basketball coach, you're checking the box off as well, and people are looking now, and they have an understanding of, it's a law. Like, it really is a law that people haven't really been abiding by. So we need more people. We need more presidents who are black. We need more athletic directors who are black, because those are the people that are providing those opportunities for head coaches to increase those numbers.